Hi everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel. It is a new week, the week of March 28th, and we have a lot of exciting things happening. I was almost done recording this video and it just stopped and went blank. There was not a recording on there. So I already have everything. I cleared the space energetically and I already pulled the cards, so I am starting over. I'm just shocked. Perhaps this was Spirit's guidance for me to do this over, or I don't know, but I'm persistent, so here we are again. So very briefly for this week, astrologically, last week a lot of us were hermiting and finishing up things, wrapping up projects, even though we shifted into a new season with the spring equinox and with the start of a new solar cycle with the Aries season. But I didn't feel like it went into the season immediately. I felt like there was a lot of cleaning up. And so this week I feel a huge shift, and I don't know if any of you feel that. You just feel like, wow, I feel like I can actually do things and I have that energy. Comment down below, because I felt it this morning actually, and I'm taping this on a Sunday, March 27th. We have the new moon coming up Friday. The new moon is going to be in Aries, which goes right in line with the season we're in. So this is an extra potent new moon. Work from now until then on really getting clear on your goals, on what you want to embark on and start. And again, you have time. It doesn't have to be on the new moon itself. It's usually several days and weeks afterwards where you can start taking different forms of action, but get clear and start taking those first steps and moving toward what it is that you want to accomplish. We also have Mercury that has shifted, and that's probably why that transition from Pisces to Aries today. So Mercury, the planet of the mental sphere, communication, the way we speak and express ourselves. In that way, it has transitioned. And with Pisces, a lot of us had trouble expressing ourselves. It was just difficult to get words out. Not Aries. Many of you are going to feel this assertive shift kicked in. You are going to have no problem speaking your truth, maybe too much truth, so be careful and try to balance that out with being a little bit impulsive and balancing that with patience. It's good to think through, but a lot of my Aries peeps know sometimes you just forge ahead and you're like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. We will figure it out along the way. That's the beautiful energy that I'm feeling with Aries. You don't wait. You go ahead, and if you make mistakes, you're like, okay, we can resolve them on the way. But again, with speaking, sometimes we can't take our words back, and words are very powerful. So think a little bit more with what you say, especially if it's something that requires some delicacy and discussion, or if there's something you want to sort out with someone else. Let's dive into the reading. We already have it here. I felt called to pull 4 decks this week. The Angels and Oracle Ancestors deck, the Angel Guide, the Moonology Manifestation, an ode for the new moon in Aries on Friday. And just a side note, I will not be doing a new moon in Aries reading or zodiac readings for each sign. I will be on vacation on holiday this week, so I will be putting out monthly zodiac reading signs for you all, and more on that very, very soon. So immediately when I pulled this just ties in with the whole season. This is a fresh new journey. The drum in many shamanic circles, those who work with their ancestors, is it's a tool, not just to connect further and deeper to your guides, to your ancestors, to your spirit animals and any other beings and entities within your spiritual team. But for me, it almost seems like a compass of your soul, of your life journey ahead, just from the circle. And many of you have come full circle. Excuse me. That's my dog, Gia. Many of you have come full circle, and it makes sense because we're starting a new season with Aries. So right now, some of you are figuring out which direction to go in, and some of you firmly know. You know exactly where to go, and that means reassessing not just your life plans, your goals, but also who's going to be part of this journey. Some of you are also starting out ancestral work right now. And I'm getting right now, you guys are connecting. Some of you are shamans. Some of you may not even know you're shamans. but through the work, through the not work, the communication, the guidance from your ancestors, many of you are going to start receiving clarity on this, and you can talk to them and ask them. And it's not what many of you look like. If some of you don't know, I will be happy to do videos on this if you're interested, because this is something I'm very passionate about. It's connecting to ancestors, because I'm also a genealogist, and it's one way to connect to who you are, no matter the circumstances in your family. And so I feel called to read this. And when I had originally taped it, I read it. This journey, it's all about going inward to uncover insights, oops, I'm looking here, and information that will be important for your path. Then follow the guidance. Some of you, I'm getting strongly that you not just are clairvoyant, you get premonitions from your ancestors, and some of your ancestors are also your spirit guides. I'm getting a lot of masculine energy here. So this could be, I'm getting grandfather, great grandfather, and then the three, great 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 grandfather, the third one. In shamanic traditions in all four corners of the world, the drum is recognized as the main tool used by medicine men and women to direct their will and aid meditation. A drum beat can become hypnotic and send those listening into an altered state that can allow them to journey to the spiritual realms and meet their guides. When the drum card appears in a reading, there are opportunities for you to dream or to bring an inner vision into reality. So some of you are connecting heavily right now to your spiritual team, to your ancestors, and you're receiving messages on the next steps. And this is beautiful. This goes straight with what's coming up with the new moon and the new season that we're in. On all fronts, there's a lot of fresh new energy, a lot of new beginnings. Next card we got from the Angel Guide Oracle, Courage and Bravery. I immediately felt the spirit of a fierce warrior. I got Joan of Arc, but I also got Archangel Michael. So some of you may have ties to Normandy in France, may have lineage there, but it doesn't have to be a female, like gender as we know it, divine feminine energy from anywhere, any culture I'm getting. Because I just see a lot of, how do I even, sometimes it's hard for me to translate the messages, the images I get. I see a lot of feminine energy on horses, but with shields. So some of you may have ties to that time period, may have past lives in that time period. You may have been fighters, warriors. Again, some of you I'm getting are from Normandy region. Some of you have fought in big battles. Tap into this energy. Your ancestors are going to come through as well. All you have to do is call upon them. This also taps into the Aries energy, ironically, the courage and bravery. The essence of Aries, they're the ram, they move forward. And if many of you have Aries placements, sun, moon, rising, Mercury, Mars especially, North Node, or any other major placement that you can relate to, you're especially feeling this. And even cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. This is going to be scary for a lot of you, because this is whatever new thing you're starting. It could be, I'm getting a lot of more, not so much between people, but that's not off the table. I'm getting new projects, new businesses, new jobs. You're starting something new, adventurous, creatively. Because I'm getting just a lot of solar plexus energy about new things. They're out of your comfort zone. Some of you are starting new creative endeavors. Some of you are content creators. You're starting new channels. I'm like, what's the word for this? New channels, blogs, podcasts. Some of you are shifting or changing social media, different accounts. Some of you are closing them down. Whatever it is, many of you are making massive overhauls in your life with your creative money projects, business, work. And so this is going to take a lot of bravery and just pushing through and knowing the steps you take forward. They're leading you to where you are going. Purple is also big. Many of you are are opening up to your spiritual gifts. I have to say this. I keep getting clairvoyant. Many of you have premonitions through your dreams. It's ironic because I'm trying to work on, I'm not a heavy dreamer. I'm not a lucid dreamer, but many of you are that are watching this. Dreams are very important for you, so you may be getting messages and will be getting messages in the next several weeks and months. So pay attention and be patient. The next card we got was from the Moonology Manifestation. And so this message for this week is tapping into the new moon in Taurus, know your worth. I feel like every week we get something tapping into the North Node, because right now it's in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, and it's all about knowing not just your worth and your value, but it also touches on relationships with yourself and with others, and the value in that, beauty and love, and also money. So no wonder that many of you may be getting ready to embark on something new relating your value. Some of you are negotiating contracts. Some of you are raising your prices for those that have established business. You just kind of did like an overhaul where you're kind of like increasing your prices because now you recognize your worth. Many of you are also leading places of employment, whether it's a 9-to-5 or even shifting businesses. There's something with the business structure I'm getting, because you're realizing now what your priorities are, where you're going, and your value. There's a lot of emphasis on value with this, because Aries is ruled by the first house. It's the polar opposite of Libra, which is the 7th house of partnerships, relationships. Aries is 1. And this could be a shadow aspect of Aries. Many of them are excellent in forging forward, very, I would say, fiercely independent, and sometimes they can come off as selfish. At the same time, they're very generous people in their own way. They don't wait for people. They're like, hey, you want to go out? They don't hear anything. They're like, we're going out by ourselves. You, me, and I. So that's the type of bravery and fierce energy I'm feeling to take on, especially as it taps into your worth. All of these cards I'm getting are just full Aries. For the, what's the deck called? The Divine Abundance deck by Tasha Silva. We got the Sacrifice. And I know at first you're like, oh no, what do I have to give up? But remember, there's a balance there, a give and take, a yin and yang. Sometimes surrender is painful. God cutting away all the needs to go. Wait, I have to say that again. God's. Oh, with the contraction, okay. God is cutting away all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's sacrifice to love. Do you see that here? This is a Hindu goddess, and I know she is involved with prosperity. And also balance. Some of you all that are just about to start these new things, you're going to be letting go, and it's going to take a lot of courage. This is where I'm getting relationship. But first I got business and work and money, however you receive or generate income. It could be a variety of places. Many of you are leaving very comfortable jobs. That could be because you've been in them for so long. You're just comfortable because you know everyone. You have a routine. You've been in it for so long. It could be comfortable also too materialistically. You receive a paycheck every week. You have great benefits, insurance, and you're going to be embarking on something so damn new. It's scary. At the same time, many of you realize what you're doing now is not making you happy. On the same front with relationships, some of you have been in relationships for so long, and even though they don't have to always be going to shit, they don't always have to be shitty partners, by the way. Although I do feel some of you are leaving toxic romantic relationships behind, and even friendships. I'm feeling strongly too, many of you are leaving relationships that haven't gone sour, that are not toxic, but they're just not right for you. They're not your people. It's almost like you feel like it's come to an end, like the candle, the flame, it snuffed out. That's the word I'm looking for. And it can be hard too, because we get very comfortable in relationships with others, in jobs, and a lot of things that don't longer serve us, and that will not carry us to the next step in the next stage of our life. So there is an element here of really not just realizing what it is you need and prioritizing what your worth and your value, but also having that courage to take the next step and realizing you will have to leave behind some people, places, things, also belief systems, in order to go on to the next step of your journey. This is so exciting, but I can feel the ambivalence and a little bit of anxiety there, because with every ending, there immediately is a new beginning, and sometimes we have that liminal space to kind of reflect and take some time out. And it can be nerve-wracking too. But you guys, a lot of you are very guided. Many of you do work with the angelic realm, also your ancestors, but I'm also feeling, because of this card, many of you work with those magical beings, dragons, griffins, unicorns, fairies. I'm getting a lot of other magical beings that are coming forth. Finally, for the self-care, because self-care is paramount and it's something that's super important. Every week, take time for yourself, no matter how small. Connect with your ancestors. When I got this card, I was like, they're coming through strong. And the 14 reduces to a 5, which is change, which is what the season has been all about, and what many of you, I can feel, are undergoing at this time. So many of you are overhauling one or many aspects of your life right now, whether that's your creative projects, your hobbies. I'm getting business and creativity for many of you are similar. Many of you are content creators. You can call yourselves influencers, podcasters, writers, artists, musicians, whatever it is, photographers, bakers, chefs, whatever you tap into, whatever that means to you. In some part, it's tied into your business, or you're wanting to tie that in. And this can also be spiritual, because I'm getting a lot of purple for me. I'm just getting spiritual. A lot of you are starting your spiritual, not just journeys, but businesses. You're finally transitioning, leaving behind what you used to do and transitioning to a spiritual business. Guides, you guys could be coaches. I keep getting clairvoyance a lot, clairvoyant. Some of you are going to use this skill to help others as coaches in different forms of divination. Energy healing. Some of you are going into health fields, health medicine, chiropractor, nursing, body therapy, things like that. Anyways, with the ancestor card, they're going to relay messages to you about your next steps. Any uncertainties you have, you can ask for signs from your ancestors. You know, something that I like to do when I'm uncertain. For example, I really wanted to do this particular workshop, and I wasn't certain who to reach out to, and so I asked my guides, can you give me a sign? And I specifically said, give me or show me a pink rabbit. And I didn't think about it. I'm like, you don't see real pink rabbits, right? Unless they're dyed or in those Cadbury chocolate commercials or whatever. So I went about my day. The same day I was at the market, and this was last month, by the way. And I saw a pink bunny on the shelf on my way to check out at the register. It was February. Apparently they had put Easter stuff out at the supermarket. And I was like, whoa. You will get your messages clearly. And whatever pops into your head, you can ask your guides, your ancestors especially, to give you signs, to communicate with you. Because of, I'm getting strongly, many of you are dreamers, lucid dreamers. You travel in your dreams, astral travel. You connect heavily with your ancestors. So you can ask before you go to bed, set the intention for clarity, and then discuss your situation briefly. And know you will receive your messages. And be patient. Sometimes it doesn't come through in the way that you imagine. So take time this week to connect with your ancestors, with who you are. If you don't know them, I'm getting the message, a lot of you are like, well, I don't know them, I'm not connected to them, I'm not close to my family, I'm estranged from my family. You may be adopted, and that's another thing too. If you're adopted, you have another tree, another genealogical tree spiritually too. They're both part of it. You can set the intention and call forth ancestors to connect with. And this is going to take time. And that's also relative, I heard. Because some people, you will get the messages early, quickly. So be patient. You have those. Some of you have never met these ancestors either. That's another thing. You may be looking for people you recognize, you know, from photos you've seen, from people, other relatives that have told you this, or even from documents. I'm seeing documents, archival documents, documents from maybe if you're in the United States, Vital Statistics Office, from other countries, from registries. You guys are looking at documents right now. I get the feeling some of you may not know these ancestors. You may not have met them in this lifetime, but they know who you are through your lineage. I'm going to read this. The mantra for the connecting with your ancestors that may help some of you. As I heal my wounds, I heal my lineage and bring peace that reverberates infinitely through time and space. So essentially the card is saying that as we connect with our ancestors, we gain a deeper understanding and appreciation of ourselves. Connecting with our ancestors is one way to better understand ourselves, our patterns, the patterns present in our lineage, and allows us to make peace with everything that happened. Some of you too, as you're starting to ramp up practices with your ancestors and just coming into practice with this, coming into knowing with this, you guys are the leaves, like the last leaves with all the shit going on in your family. Intergenerational trauma, racism, oppression. Ancestral wounds, there's a lot. Many of you are the healers in your family that are going to help recalibrate this, that are going to help heal your lineage. Here it says you can also learn about your family line in more intuitive ways like meditation, dream work, and working with a past life regression specialist or someone who specializes in reading the Akashic records, which is an archive of basically every thought, every action, everything that's ever been done. Like a library. Think of it like a huge library. and it includes everything, past, present, future. Call on your ancestors to tap into centuries of wisdom, protection, and guidance. As you look back and connect with your forebears, your path forward will become more evident. Here's a journal prompt for you writers. What patterns or trends exist in your family line, especially among the women? Do these patterns appear in your life? I also suggest Googling and looking for a family tree chart. And this appears as a chart itself where it has you and then it spreads to your parents and then their parents and so forth. Usually it's about 4 to 5 generations on one page. And some of them are smaller depending on the pedigree charts. And you can also do family charts where they actually have a tree. And you don't have to know them, but from what you know from family, from research, you can piece together different things that you've learned about your ancestors. Some of them may have experienced abandonment, different forms of mental health disorders, addictions, whatever it is, and it'll help you with this. This is a huge start. This is the journey for many of you. A lot of you are shamans. Straight away, I'm getting a lot of you are shamans. Some of you may be curanderos, curanderas, witches, shamans, healers. There's so many names. Whatever it is, you're going to be healing a lot. So, wow. This week, make a plan, get your goals in line, figure out and prioritize what it is that you want. Know that you will have to take courage, but it's going to be easier because many of you are realizing your value and your worth. You're tired of the old shit, the old F. I was gonna say the F word, but I don't know if I'm gonna get banned here. You're tired of the old crap that's been happening. And you're like, F that, I'm not doing it anymore. And again, the sacrifice involves leaving behind a lot of this stuff, whether it's things that you were comfortable with, people you were comfortable with and have known a while, or just shit you're tired of. And you're like, I'm done, I'm leaving, starting new. And all of this is going to happen with your connection to your ancestors. So tap into that. I hope this message resonated with someone. This was absolutely beautiful. I'm just getting a lot of serenity here, a lot of knowing. Some of you feel like you're freaking the F out right now because you're like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what my next steps are. Take a deep breath. Things will be revealed to you one by one, and keep going forward, keep taking steps. Keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to know all the answers now. Everything gets revealed in time. So I'm wishing you a wonderful week ahead. A happy, full new moon in Aries, I should say. and we will see each other soon. Take care. Bye.